Disclaimer, I do not own this art. I'm gonna leave a link where you can find this picture. Now, enjoy the video. Welcome back to episode 2 of What If Deku Was Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. Take 2. Take 1 took. I talked for a while, but made the huge mistake to tell every student by mistake that there's dead kids in these bodies. It was a huge mistake, and I deleted it. So I'm gonna do this different. I'm going crazy. So this is episode. Sorry about that. This is episode 2 of What If Deku Was Bonnie from Five Nights at Freddy's. I said it again. Sorry. When Bonnie activated, he saw Mr. Aizawa, Izumi, Bakugo, and Kirishima. He recognized Bakugo and Izumi. They heard He walked. They heard a clang. We're going to Izumi's perspective. Izumi turns around before the others and see Bonnie activated. He's moving. He's scary. He's terrifying. Izumi screams. The others immediately turns around and see the same thing. Aizawa is freaked out. How can this thing be activated? It's rusty. It's old. It shouldn't be moving. It walked towards them. Aizawa throws the tape, or the capture tool, at Izuku. Izuku grabs it and put. Aizawa is terrified. This machine is quick. Maybe quicker than him. Izuku is let go of the tapes and walk forward. Izumi is terrified. Ida and Uraraka runs in and see Bonnie's activated. Uraraka immediately touch Izuku, and Izuku immediately begins to float. Izuku is terrified. He's floating. He thinks he's going to the afterlife and goes down and grabs the earth and grabs the floor and crushes it so he got a good hold. Uraraka froze up. She couldn't take it. And let's go. Izuku went down to the floor, immediately thinking it's a quirk. Izuku stands up and goes again. Izumi's wrecking is smelling a new smell. Another corpse. But this one's not that strong. Not very recent. Izumi and Bakugo is trying to... doesn't know what's happening. They walk aside. It was not going after him. Kirishima does the same, and Aizawa doesn't go after them. Izuku walks over to Afton. They see Izuku stop and bend down, looking at Afton. Then Afton wakes up, breathing. They can just hear. Sorry about that. They can just hear. What happened? You! Get me out of this! You! Oh, wait, that was wrong. You! You! But Afton couldn't move. He said, "What? Why can't I move?" Izuku grabs the head. They hear him speak. You cannot move. I made you so you couldn't move. I locked you together so you can be tortured. You need to go back to sleep, Afton. Yes, I know your name. Aizawa immediately grabs Izuku's hand away from the face, said to get away from the victim. Izuku says this is not a victim. This is the person that killed him and his friend. They're confused. He said to look in the crates over there. I forgot to mention this, and I'm just gonna add it in. There were crates. 5 to 6 crates. No, 2 crates. They're wondering, but they see something in the corner of the box. You couldn't see before because of absent blood. They're blood from the boxes, not from Afton, from the cracks. They go over and open. They're children, dead children. Now, Bakugo and Izumi threw up. As Kirishima and Anasawa, Ida froze up. Uraga again. And said, how does he know it? And why does he know it? Izuku said he's one of the victims, and said his name is Izuku Midoriya. Bakugo and Izumi lights up, and thinks it's wrong. How can he be alive? His body's right there. Said his soul is in the body. Afton destroyed the others, so they passed on. But Izuku and the Golden Freddy are not passed on. They want to stay, want to torture him. Then they hear sirens. Izuku turns around and said, lock the door, and sees the door. It's crushed. There's no door. He's quiet, then he yells, what the hell, why didn't you just cut? Push it open, it's not that strong. And then he thinks he's an animatronic, he's strong as hell. Then they hear moving in. Izuku turns off, laying down. Afton is still there, and the police come into the room. 4 people. The head of police, one of his good men, 3 and his good men. They don't want to tell a thing. The police chiefs ask what's wrong and who is the hell is in that suit. Izuku is terrified. He doesn't want the police to know he's still alive. But as I said, that this animatronic is active, talking, and this guy in the suit is supposedly the murderer of the children in these boxes. Sorry if you can hear that, I'm just fiddling with something. They look in the boxes, sees 6 children. Then the police chief said the obvious. One of them is more skeleton. That's the 6th victim from long ago. Then said, how can you prove that that machine is active and moving around? Izuku is kinda pissed at Aizawa, but he stands up and said he's moving. This is the proof they need. Police chief and the three guards point the guns. Izuku says don't shoot, that he's still alive. He's Izuku Midoriya, the kid right there. He said the skeleton kid right there, the most one, is in that body. Says the other has passed on. All the other four is in heaven. Afton should be in hell, but still is trapped. Izuku said he tried to get out. He can't. He thinks he needs to kill him. The suit, but doesn't know how. The police chiefs ask a question that only he will know. When is the day that he died? Izuku actually said straight up he doesn't remember. He was in the suit. A few days later, he woke up in the suit. He doesn't know what day it actually is today. The police chief said that he should remember his own death. He said no, he was only 5. It was 5 years ago. No, 10 years ago. He can't really remember. Then Izumi asked a question. What is me and my friend's name? Izuku looks at them and said, Bakugo Katsuki and Izumi Midoriya, his sister. The police chief is confused. He knows these kids. He said that's their sister. The police chief asked how he died. He said the guy in the suit right now is the murderer that took the 4 kids he knows as friends into this room, killed them and stuffed them into the box. He went out pretending to be a parent, saying his kid and his wife is in the car, and left. Afton says it's not true. He's a security guard, an extra. Then said he's got trapped when there one night. Then the police chief asked to see the footage. Afton forgot. Afton says the footage must be down. It's an old rundown building. Asawa says one thing that shocked Afton and Izuku. The security cameras still works. If it's true, that is the guy that destroyed and killed the security guards. Destroyed Chica, Foxy, and Freddy, and killed the guard. Afton is shocked. They're still working. Izuku immediately just said, Hell yeah, we got him. And picks Afton up and just knocks him out. Well, he twists his head around to knock him out. The police chief asked, Did you just kill him? He said no. His body's in there. He's still in the body, but he has woken up before. One time. Breathing hard he can. He went over and just twisted his neck. He was knocked out. This proving he's still alive. He cannot breathe, but he can still live in the suit. The police chiefs ask what to do now. They can just not leak this to the public. Izuku said one thing they can realize. Burn the building down. Burn Afton with them, the building, and leave Izuku and Golden Freddy to go to a place where they can be forever and still be alive. They don't want to die. The police chief asks if this is a good idea to have two animatronics with souls inside of them alive. Izuku wonder and ask where how did they actually get here and he knows that Asawa isn't his father, so why they're here. He said he's a teacher at UA. They were going to try to solve crimes police hadn't tried to solve yet. The police chief said they solved it, but couldn't get into the room. They don't want to make a ruckus in the neighborhood. No one heard the ruckus yet, but saw the police cars. Isugu thinks, says they're gonna make a fake accident. Ask Uraraka if she can maybe pretend to being caught by a wall. She asked what she mean and if he's gonna hurt him. He said no. He asked to come to the kitchen. Police chief is wondering why the hell the kitchen. Isugu walks to the fridge, and it's kinda working. All of the others is still off, but this one still have cold air. Isugu says this is one of the good fridges. He has checked it before and said there's two ketchup bottles in there that's not open. He poured it on Uaraka's arm and made a slight. He took the ketchup and went out. He found some food. He found some paint, old storage. He knows this, but the paint was removed. But he kept some hidden for himself. Smeared it on Uaraka so it actually looked like a cut. The police chief said it's a good idea. Isugu poured some ketchup on it. Isugu said hold it there. The police chief called the hospital. Said they need an ambulance. One of the good ones. The people he can trust. The hospital immediately sounded someone's hurt. They need trusted medical factories. Medical help. They are still talking. Said how they can burn. There's no lighters in here. Is the good checked? There's nothing here. Ambulance arrived and said the police chief asked to say she accidentally cut him herself with a stone when they went into the room. Said to find animatronics, 3 of them, old suits. The man was still not found. The man was found but dead in the suit. They took Afton's remain out of the suit. It was disgusting, and put it in the body bag. Isugu activated the suit. Then they hear, "What the hell? Get me? Where am I? Again?" Isugu realized Afton is not in his body. He's in the spring-locked suit. Now it's harder to kill him. Isugu said they figured something out. They can burn the remains now. Saying they need to burn the remains. Fire can only kill a soul. Isugu thinks that. They take the body parts out. The police and the hospital goes off, saying that Uraraka doesn't need to do that. Pretend she's hurt. Ida is with her with Kirishima. The police chief, Aizawa, Bakugo, and Izumi are still there. Said what they gotta do. They cannot leave Afton alive to roam around. Izuku said he can burn him, make look like an accident, maybe a wire when they activated the light. The police chief is wondering what he means. He said the body could be theoretically said that it couldn't be moved. They had to use gasoline. They could put Afton down in the electric area with the power and spark it to burn. Izuku will be packed up in the box, and they will be moving out, him and Golden Freddy. I I do not know her actual name. Said they have found the other bodies too, and they are gonna be buried. The police chief is agreeing on this. Izuku is a good kid, a good-headed one. And if you're wondering, wait, did I actually set this episode? The last episode? If I didn't, Afton is quirkless. He doesn't have a quirk. That's why he killed all the children. Izuku put Afton down there. Afton is still yelling at him to release him so he can murder him. Izuku set him down and said he's already dead. He's just talking to Bunny the Bunny, the thing he created, Afton. The thing he created. And Izuku said Afton. Sorry if that line was confusing. Jesus Christ, I'm thirsty. Izuku says, it's your last thing to be alive now, Afton. Your family is not gonna know you. You're a murderer, an asshole, and took Izuku's life from him. Then Gas is gonna put it down in the basement. Izuku also said that Izuku thought of another idea. More convincing. Said they was allowed to burn the building down by the owner. He wanted to get rid of it, but doesn't want to serve it in the right way, to just destroy it and killing evidence. When the murder was solved, they wanted to go out with a bang, with a fire. Police chief said it was a better idea, make more sense. Sorry, I just need to add that in because it was kind of confusing if it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'm talking too much, I'm so sorry. Izuku put Afton, of course, down in the electric room where no one can hear him. They got the owner and said they are allowed to burn it. This just solved the case he wanted to know after all these years. Afton, it was the original owner of this franchise, but he got fired by the people that actually runs it, what they sold it to. Afton must have got some revenge and killed some kids, making that franchises die out. Izuku heard it was okay and poured gas on Afton. Afton was angry, said he needs to stop putting gasoline, that he can maybe help him. Izuku said, I don't want to listen, I don't want to have a body, I don't want to listen to Afton, the killer of the 5 kids. But now there's 6. Golden Freddy is happy. She's seeing his man getting poured in gasoline. Izuku took some wires, lit it. Fire was caused. The police chief was still on the phone when they hear down in the basement. They heard a little bit of a man screaming. Izuku wilding out. They can still hear Afton. Much clearer. The police chief asked what he did. He said he's burying Afton, the man that killed him. And they need to ask if the merch was taken out. And the original bodies. They say yes. It was out, so we can fix you up. The franchise owner give Bonnie and Golden Freddy to them so they can fix up and the students can be education on these kind of old animatronics. Golden Freddy and Bonnie was put in the box. When they closed, they saw the fire. They immediately moved out. The firemen came and sprayed water so other buildings would not catch on fire. The building burned down. Izuku was watching, happy. He could move out. No, that was... When they got to the door, Izuku was terrified. Will he die, move past on? What will happen to both of them? They went through the door. Nothing happened. Izuku was still in the body. He didn't pass on. He was happy. They saw media outside, asking what happened, what is going on. They say they're burning the building down to pay respects. They're allowed to burn it down. They wanted to destroy the building for so goddamn long, but couldn't because of the evidence. But now they figured out the case and what happened. The animatronics, when the security guard died, went into security mode. Chica was the first one to be destroyed, then Freddy, Foxy, and Bunny was the only one that could stop the murderer, killing him in the suit. Golden Freddy was in the room with them. And police chief said that they're moving it. The owner gives UA the price of them to fix them up and helping them around the campus. People are happy. This case went on for 10 years and finally got solved. Afton was burning. His body is dead. He's going to hell. When Izuku arrived to UA, he was put in the support course at first, to be fixed up. When Izuku went out, he said hello, and did the original line. But Bucky. No, that's not how it happened. The box opened, and Izuku was standing there. What's the name again? Power Loader took Izuku out. He knows, the staff knows, and the UA students doesn't know. Izuku is keeping quiet. Power Loader said they need to fix them up. Isugu is getting more attention because he's more broken. Isugu's old parts is coming in. Golden Freddy need a new skeleton and a voice box. But this one is need to be a female because they didn't want to have just a bunny and two males. They also want something for the girls too. Mei Hatsume is so goddamn excited that she went up and immediately took the ears off. That was her task, and Paolo said that she needs to calm down. Isugu inside his head says, "God damn, that hurt. God damn, she's quick. I need to shut off immediately." Isugu did. Paolo noticed that the eyes are not glowing, saying that Mei Hajime accidentally may have destroyed it. Mei is kind of stuttering, saying she was too excited that she's sorry. Mei is allowed to get a punishment to wait a few days before she working on the ears. The rest of the students fix up Bonnie, and Golden Freddy may come back and fix the ears. I just wanted to add that because I think it's funny, and there's goddamn kids outside. I'm so sorry if you can hear it. Sorry about that. It just fixed my mic. Now, it's done. Isugu could feel he was banging on. Got uh, knocked on the head. Paolo said that he made an eye, a female and a male. A renew of two of the victims. One Isuku Midoriya to pay respect to one of the students, his sibling, Izumi Midoriya, and a girl, the girl from 6 years ago. They put Paolo put the chip in. Now I need to explain. Isugu got a different design, not a different endoskeleton. Because some of the things was destroyed, they had to fix it up, make a new one. His parts were still used. It was fixed up, something was brand new, everything else. Isugu awoke, looking around, and asked, "Where is he? Where he are?" Paolo says that he's in UA, that he got his new AI they built from scratch, from old animatronics. Isugu said he's agreeing. He kinda understand, but he said, wait, how he's here? He's a kid. Isugu Midoriya said he got Izumi to allow to recount memories, and his mom to make an AI so Izumi can have some peace talking to Deku. This was a cover-up story. The only thing he got was just memories when after he died from Izumi and his mom. And his dad, of course, but he was not actually there for most part. Isugu said that he understand. He's an AI, he's not living, he's not Isugu Midoriya, he's Bunny the Bunny with an AI that is Isugu Midoriya. Golden Freddy was turned on. She finally speaks, so everyone can hear it. Where is she? Who is she? She's a child. The same thing is happening. Those two is moving, testing and everything. The body was great. Isugu can feel different. he was stronger, more advanced. He said they need to go to Class 1A. They are allowed to be there because they find. God damn. Izuku agrees. Mei Hatsumi asks if she can walk them to the class. And Paolo looks at her and says, "No, you messed up things. So you need to get your punishments to not fix these animatronics ever again." Mei Hatsumi is sad. She's pissed herself for being too reckless. Paolo walks Izuku and Golden Freddy. Said that it's been a few days. Exactly 5 days. Walk to class on 1A and Izuku asks before they enter if there are any big people in there because of the door. He said no, and they walk in. Well, Paolo knocks at the door and they hear, "Come in for Maezawa." Paolo walks in and say they got the gift from the Fazbear Entertainment. Now the students in scene Bonnie the Bunny and Golden Freddy, or Fazbear if you want me to call him that. Walking in, standing beside the podium, or to the wall, well, in front of the class. Aizawa says this is the gift the owner gave them for solving the case. Everyone is shocked. These are old animatronics but new skeletons. Same mold, some is not same. Then Izuku speaks first. He's Izuku Midoriya, an AI from Izumi's Midoriya's dead brother. They made him uh, to make her at ease, to talk to an AI that's like her brother. Well, Izumi knows that this is actually Izuku, just trapped in the body what he wanted. The others said that that's Izumi's twin brother, dead in the animatronic suit, and Izuku said it's fake, he's not actually in the body, and Asawa said they already know. Izuku looks at him, saying that that was stupid. He was planning on saying that he's just an AI. Aizawa said they need to know before they actually figure things out. Izuku nods and says he's actually Izuku Midoriya, actually him, trapped in the suit. Said his actual skeleton is getting upgrades. That they used the old skeleton was not allowed to. They're allowed to improve it but not take things apart. And the support coach listened. Mayhots may, for a fact, try to make some new stuff, but Power Loader made it so she couldn't do that. Then Golden Freddy speaks up. She is the first missing girl, a female around the Sugu age as well. She was around 7 or 6. She doesn't remember. And Vendetta says, were you hot? And Golden Freddy is just looking at him saying, What what do you mean by that? Saying, was she a hot girl? And all the girls just look at him angry. And and he gets a smack from Froggy right in the no, she was pulled up by Froggy like in the um festival. Matching that scene just here. Itsuku asked what's wrong with that guy. They said that he's a pervert. Itsuku asked what the hell is a pervert. He does know a lot of things from the internet because he was trapped in that pizzeria. They said he must know he's Isumi's brother. Then he says the obvious. He's been trapped in the pizzeria for over 10 years. He can't actually remember or knows about future stuff. He needs to learn. And the other says, yeah, that kinda makes sense. How long is this video actually? I actually don't want to know. I'm just gonna talk until I think it's done. Anisu also says they don't need to say his real name. They allowed to say his real name, but not say that it's actually him. It's advanced AI to make Izumi Midoriya feel peaceful. They all agree. Aizawa told them to go to the back and stay there. They go on with the lesson, and Isugu is goddamn confused. They having math with ectoplasm. The whole staff actually knows this. I just need to add this. The whole staff knows about Isugu and Golden Freddy's case. Isugu is confused. He can't process this. This is advanced for him. Isugu shuts off just for mere hours. Then he feels pokes. He wakes up and hears the bell. Ending. Ectoplasm says they need to do their routine with the lunch. They say yes and walk down to the lunch rush. Students are confused. There are now tablets at the tables. They walk up to lunch rush and said what the tablet is for. He said they don't need to take food from here. The new animatronics is coming out with their food. The new AI that should make Sumi peaceful and the other is making closure with another kid. The students is kind of glad about this. They don't want to stand in line waiting for their food just to wait. They order food and first table to order food is Izumi Midoriya, Bakugo Katsuki, Tenya Ida, and Kirishima, Eijiro Kirishima, and Ochako Uraraka. The food was ready, and they see Bonnie the Bunny walking out with their food. Bonnie said the food is here, and they need to enjoy it. The machine that some of the support course made puts the food up on the table where the seats are. Next table and next. You can see where this is going. When the lunch runs was over, they took all the things and cleaned. And it got lunch rush, cleaned the tables, and said they need to go class 1A. They both move along with them. Now it's training time for class 1A. No, this is not hero versus villains. It's, I think I said it was 2 months after they got into UA, so USJ and the heroes versus villains is over. And the the what the hell was it again? Sports festival was also over. Yes, Ida survived because Sumi went with Gran Torino. Yes. Don't add me. Now they are rocking with the animatronics down. The animatronics says they don't need to be heroes, they can just help around UA. All Might says it's nonsense, they need to come with. They say okay, but they are not used for combat. All Might says the chip they got into them, is actually kind of a fighting machine too. Izuku asks what does he mean, he can only see memories of his Sumi's and his mother's life. Then All Might said, look closer. Izuku opened the file. He can see fighting tactics? Also does Golden Freddy. Then Izuku said, when the hell did you figure out I need to be a training tool? All Might laughed and says, when they got to UA and got shut down for 5 days. They were kinda mad, they just want to help Class 1A with something else. But says okay and walks with them. Now, after the USJS attack and Ida's recklessness, they fought to train them in moves. It's not gonna. And. Wait, wasn't that the. When they started into the summer vacation was 2 months or 3 months? We're gonna see this is actually after the summer training arc. Yes, Kora is still alive, but Izumi rescued him. When they went into the pizzeria, it was after that. Bakugo still got rescued, All Might, everyone knows his secret. And everything else go to canon. I just forgot to mention this, I'm so sorry. It's not 2 months, it's after the training arc. They go down to ground zero. They say to analyze their techniques and see what they can do. Izuku agrees, and so does Golden Freddy. Izuku is walking and seeing everything. He sees Uraraka trying to train a quirk, lifting up and try to hold. Izuku analyzed hers. She was kinda helpful with everything else. Izuku also went over to Katsuki Bakugo and watched him. He watched him doing the AP shot and said it was kinda powerful. This is before the hero's licensing exam. And Bakugo is kinda goddamn nice in this. I'm just gonna add. He says those two, Bakugo doesn't need a lot of training, but Uraraka needed. Says he needs to focus on him and walks over to the others. Mina is doing great. So does Momo, Todoroki, and yes, Izumi kinda convinced him to use his fire. Gotta be some, maybe the ship. I'm sorry about that. It was just a light coughing. Watch that some of the people on top doesn't need help. He watched Kirishima. He needs kind of help, he thinks. Watch Mineta and everyone else. Sato and what the hell was the animal voice guy? Koda? No. Um, I'm just gonna say animals that's much helpful. Says they need to focus on the weak, helping them. He starts with Uraraka and asks if she can calm down. She does, and said what she can lift. Ectoplasmon's clone go over to another one to help, double help. Uraraka said she can only lift about 3 tons every day. Deku said she needs to lift rocks and everything heavy to continue that time. Maybe even increase the how much she can weigh. Maybe even get a support item to help her with attacks. Uraraka explained she wants to be a rescue hero. Izuku agrees that her quirk is kinda helpful for that. But she still needs to focus on attacks, not just her conscious, her throwing up. She's kind of glad that Izuku helped her. Izuku asked to lift him up. Uraraka is kind of worried. She doesn't actually know how heavy Izuku is. Izuku says, just do it. Uraraka touches Izuku and she starts to lift him. She's kind of good at the start. 5 minutes later, she wants to throw up. Izuku says to hold it so long she can. She holds it for 3 minutes before she threw up. Izuku says to release him. She did, and Izuku walks over, says she needs something to keep it at bay. Maybe a pill to keep throwing up. Uraraka agrees and said his advice is kinda helpful. Izuku said it's alright. That she is kind of one has a strong quirk, but kinda need practice. Not just her be lifted up. Yes, I don't like her actual training in the main storyline. Izuku said he's going to one of the others that need help more than the others, and yelled to the ectoplasm quirk that left her to come back and help. She's she's gonna explain. Sorry if that was too loud for you. She explained what she needs to do. Ectoplasm kinda didn't think that through. Izuku walks over to Koda. Asks what is his quirk. Koda, no, not Anna voice, not Koda. Anna voice guy says that his quirk is Anna voice. He can control animals by talking to them. Izuku asks, how did he actually get in? He says, control animals, and he's in class 1A. Koda asks, what does he mean by that? Izuku says, you can control animals, so you need to be in a jungle. That is kind of what I'm hearing, Izuku says. But if you still want to be in the city, I think pigeons spin around the villain, confusing the hell out of it or get to so he can attack him. Koda is kind of no, not Koda. God damn it again. Anna voice says that is kind of useful. And Izuku said one thing: he need to carry something to hurt the villain, to punch or knock out. Maybe have a glove that can hurt but not break anything, break bones or just knocking a villain out. Koda is helpful. Got helpful advice. Isugu and Golden Freddy give the advice to the weakest one and is helpful. Class 1A is so glad they got these animatronics. Now it's um the sorry about that. The hero lighting exam. Isuku and Golden Freddy is allowed to come to watch and learn from other people. The usual thing happened, but is glad when she walks over and do the whole spiel. She saw Golden Freddy and Bonnie walking over to Aisawa. Hi, editing Blue Mask here. I'm just gonna say that my mom walked in right here and disturbed the clip. So sorry you can hear the cut, but it was kinda goddamn annoying. So let's continue the video, the rest of it. Suku walks over to Aisawa and says, "Who is she?" He doesn't. She doesn't look like an actual helpful hero. What the hell happened there? And Miss Joke's laugh and says he's Miss Joke, a hero from another school. The usual thing happened, but this time just Izumi instead of got shake hands. Sorry, that was loud. Isugu is kind of walks over and said, "Don't do that. I can see you're lying." Baguio said the same. They said, "Don't be rude, you two," to go and see the fight. The Here's Lightning Sam. They walk in, and the usual thing happened. Again, without Isuku Midoriya in the story. Now it's here I'm gonna leave it off. Was the second episode. Good night, good day, good morning, good goodbye, farewell. I'm Blue Mask. Goodbye.